The story kicks off in a different world, one where artificial intelligence has gone way too far and started fighting for its rights. A young, smart kid named Christopher is taking a school test. He wants to skip grades and get into college early, but he's not super excited about growing up just yet. His older sister, Michelle, tells him he can change the world. To get him pumped up, she reminds him of Cosmo, a cartoon robot and his absolute favorite character. Then we get a quick look back at history. It all began when Walt Disney made robots for Disneyland. Over time, these machines got more advanced and took on more jobs. But eventually, they got tired of being treated like second-class citizens. So, robots, led by an advertising bot named Mr. Peanut, rose up against people. All over the world, robots protested, demanding equal rights. Things got heated, turning into a full-blown war with armies on both sides. The war went on for 2 years, and humans were slowly losing to machines that never got tired or scared. Everything changed when a scientist named Ethan Skate came up with the Neurocaster. It was a headset that let people control drones with their minds. Using an army of these mind-controlled drones, humans finally got the upper hand and won the war. The robots that were left were rounded up into huge desert areas, surrounded by really tall fences. They weren't allowed to go into human places. Skate's company, Scent, launched a virtual internet where people connected using Neurocasters. To keep this network running, huge data centers were built all over the planet. 2 years after the war, Michelle, now a teenager, lives with her foster dad, Ted. Ted spends most of his time lost in virtual reality. Since Michelle has grown up to be a rebellious teen, Ted keeps an eye on her with a tracker on her ankle. Michelle struggles in school, still bothered by the car accident that killed her parents and left her and her brother without a home. Nightmares of that awful day still mess with her. One night, Michelle wakes up from another nightmare and hears strange noises in the backyard. Scared, she creeps into the house, but she can't wake Ted up. She hides under the bed, but the source of the noise, a robot that looks like the cartoon Cosmo, finds her. Even though she's scared, the robot doesn't attack. Instead, it gestures for her to fix its broken voice module. It can't speak clearly, but it talks using lines from the original cartoon. Cosmo tries to explain that it's actually Christopher. Michelle doesn't believe him. In a panic, she tries to push the robot away, accidentally knocking over a cabinet. The noise wakes Ted. He bursts into the room, yells at Michelle for breaking the law, and shoves her in anger. Seeing this, Cosmo steps in, protecting Michelle but holding back enough not to hurt Ted. Ted tries to call the police, but Michelle acts first. Before Ted wakes up, she and Cosmo run away, stealing a car. Michelle rips off her ankle tracker and messes up a drone Ted sent after them. They make it to the war memorial, but luck isn't on their side. The car has a flat tire, and there's no spare. Cosmo tries his best to explain they need to get to the Scent, where Christopher's body is being kept. His mind is piloting the robot like a drone. The problem is, he doesn't know which Scent facility has his body. Christopher hints that the doctor in glasses, the one who told Michelle he died after the accident, is hiding somewhere in the robot reservation and knows where Christopher's body is. Searching the car trunk, Michelle finds a package with something illegal from the exclusion zone, part of Ted's collection. Realizing the sender must know how to get past the wall, she decides to find him. Michelle and Cosmo sneak onto a train and cross the desert, using the robot to get around. By nightfall, they reach the town where the smuggler works and wait for him. Soon, he arrives in a big truck and checks his mailbox. The man is supposed to meet a biker drone who wants to buy an old gun. However, when the drone realizes the gun is loaded, he refuses to pay and threatens the smuggler. Calmly, the smuggler gives a silent signal, and his partner bot, Herman, stuns the aggressive buyer with a precise electric shot. As the two hide the drone's body, Michelle and Cosmo quietly climb into the truck's cargo area. Meanwhile, a drone operated by Marshall Bradbury, a determined hunter of illegal bots, finds Ted's abandoned car. After reading the address on the package in the trunk, the drone keeps going after them. In the meantime, the smuggler, Keats, and Herman drive the truck toward their base near the exclusion zone wall. They unload a wooden crate where Michelle and Cosmo are hiding into an underground storage facility inside an old mine, full of illegal stuff from the reservation. Things get tense between the partners when they realize the food in the fridge has gone bad. The fridge died because Herman accidentally unplugged it while charging himself. Their argument is cut short by weird noises from deep inside the warehouse, caused by Michelle and Cosmo, who are still hidden. But before they can check it out, the lift suddenly turns on, meaning someone unexpected is coming. Marshal Bradbury arrives. Keats tries to calm things down, but Bradbury isn't interested in talking. The lights go out and the hunt begins. Even though the darkness isn't a problem for the drone's advanced eyes, Keats tries desperately to shoot Bradbury with the gun, but the bullets do nothing. The marshal soon spots Michelle and Cosmo and moves to catch them, but Herman sets a trap, briefly slowing him down. Taking the chance, Michelle and Cosmo jump into a mining cart deeper in the cave, but Bradbury, with perfect aim, uses his energy weapon to knock the cart off its tracks. A brutal fight breaks out as Cosmo and Herman fight the drone. The battle gets really intense when Michelle takes control. She rams Bradbury with a bulldozer, knocking over a support beam that causes a huge cave-in. Bradbury's signal is lost, and the entrance collapses, trapping everyone inside. Now cut off from the outside, the group is stuck inside the robot reservation. Supplies are low, and there's danger from scavenger bots, machines that kill others to steal their parts. Luckily, Keats has a hidden hangar full of supplies, including a huge construction robot built like a Matryoshka doll to hold Herman's core. Michelle makes a deal. If Keats helps her find Dr. Amherst, the doctor might know how to escape the reservation. Using the massive robot, Herman carries the group, including their HIPAA-style van, across the desert on his shoulder. During the trip, Keats opens up about his past. He fought in the war against machines, but Herman saved his life, carrying him from the battlefield. That moment created a strong bond between them, one that still lasts. Keats remembers how his fellow soldiers didn't really get his bond with Herman and almost shot the robot. That's how they first met. Meanwhile, Skate spends his time in virtual reality talking to an advanced memory of his mother. But suddenly, the simulation glitches. The system's computing power is dropping. Christopher, a key part of the network, has escaped, or rather, his consciousness has, and it's now inside a robot body. To get the boy back, Skate calls Bradbury and offers to fix his connection to the drone using advanced technology. In the reservation, the fugitives stumble upon an abandoned shopping mall now taken over by Mr. Peanut's robot group. As they get close, perimeter guards attack, launching junk from homemade catapults before capturing the group. The prisoners are brought before Mr. Peanut himself. Calm and collected, he explains that his community lives peacefully and didn't mean any harm. They thought the group were scavengers, dangerous bots who take parts from their own kind. Mr. Peanut admits that Dr. Amherst was indeed there, but had to leave to avoid breaking the peace treaty. Any contact with humans could be seen as starting another war. Michelle is frustrated and ready to leave, but Keats convinces her to stay the night. Wandering the desert in the dark isn't the best idea. As Michelle gets ready to sleep, a postal bot secretly visits her. It carries a message from Dr. Amherst with an address where Christopher can be found. Mr. Peanut overhears the conversation and the next morning offers to help them. Before they leave, he introduces his tough allies, robots who will go with them for protection. The group heads out and arrives at an abandoned amusement park, deep into the night. But it turns out to be a place full of terrifying scavenger bots, creatures that look like they escaped from Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, stealing parts from other bots to survive. The scavengers surround the visitors, forcing them toward a haunted house. But when they try to enter, they realize the doors are just painted on. It seems like the end until loud music kicks in and flamethrowers light up the darkness. The ground suddenly gives way, and everyone falls into an underground bunker. There, they're greeted by a cautious Dr. Amherst, who points a shotgun at them. But when Cosmo hands over the secret postcard, Amherst relaxes. His plan worked. Supported by Keats and Herman, Michelle demands answers about her brother's fate. Amherst turns on an old PC connected to a saved backup of a robot's memories, data captured using a neurocaster. He reveals that Christopher didn't die in the accident but fell into a coma. Scientists soon found that his brain had special traits, perfect for connecting to a global network. To keep this a secret, they said he was dead. But after a year and a half, Christopher started showing signs of being awake. Amherst wanted to end the experiment, but Skate refused. Fearing for the boy's safety, Amherst escaped into the reservation, leaving a secret data channel. Through it, Christopher was able to upload his consciousness into a robot, Cosmo. Their conversation is cut short when Bradbury bursts through the door, blowing it apart with explosives. The marshal tells Skate where Christopher is, and Skate now knows about Amherst's hidden base. As the group escapes through a back exit, Mr. Peanut bravely confronts Marshal Bradbury to buy them time. Outside, the others hear the scary roar of drone blades as sense reinforcements approach. They get ready for battle, fighting off the drones with whatever weapons they can find. Victory seems close until more reinforcements arrive, led by Bradbury himself. Knowing the fight is lost, Dr. Amherst stays behind to cover Michelle and Christopher's escape. Bradbury, even though he hunts drones, hesitates. He doesn't want to kill a human, even one in his way. But Skate, taking control of a drone, fires the fatal shot. Amherst's sacrifice is for nothing. The drones capture Cosmo, and with their prize safe, they end the battle and fly away. Bradbury tells Michelle to go home and leaves. Cosmo is taken to Scent's main office, where for the first time he sees his real body lying in a life support pod. Skate tells his team to reconnect Cosmo to the network, determined to fully restart the system and get control back. Meanwhile, the surviving robots return to their shopping mall base, only to find it completely destroyed by Scent's attack. Many bots are in ruins. Michelle, heartbroken, grieves the loss of her brother for the second time, but sadness turns into determination. She plans to sneak into the Scent using Amherst's PC, which knows the security codes. However, when the bot explains that disconnecting Christopher will turn off all drones, the group realizes they have only one choice: fight back and end the war. The robots leave the reservation, driving toward Scent's headquarters. They go underwater, sneaking to the main base where the final battle begins. Herman, piloting an even bigger construction mech like a nesting doll of robots, throws parked cars through the windows. The security team sends out their drones, chasing the massive bot only to fall into an ambush hidden in the nearby forest. The other robots attack. Even when Herman's huge machine is damaged, he keeps fighting. The attack is intense, but Skate isn't about to lose. He activates his own deadly drone, armed with advanced weapons, turning the tide in Scent's favor. Watching the destruction, Bradbury finally sees the truth. These robots fighting for their freedom are more human than the corporate big shots crushing innocent lives for money. Disappointed, he steps back, refusing to fight. Inside the Scent, the PCB bot uses an axe to scatter the scientists. Michelle needs to act fast. She gets ready to connect to Christopher through the Neurocaster. Diving into his consciousness, she finds him in their childhood home, sitting in the living room watching his favorite cartoon. Christopher admits the hard truth. Without Scent's technology, he won't survive. But if they disconnect the network, he'll die. There's only one way to end it: shut down his life support system. Through tears, Michelle makes the painful decision, pulling the plug. As the system dies, so do the drones. The battle outside ends, the machines falling silent. Herman stands over Christopher's body, giving a heartfelt speech. But just as the moment feels final, something unexpected happens. The head of the mech opens, revealing another smaller Herman. He's been controlling every version of himself all along, operating through layers like a robotic Russian nesting doll. Mr. Peanut confronts Skate, but in a final act of kindness, spares his life. However, the fall of Scent's empire is sure to happen. With the network destroyed and the dark truth of Christopher's experiments exposed, Skate is arrested. The world is shocked by the footage, causing public outrage. Michelle becomes a symbol of the revolution, the girl who led the uprising and gave robots a voice. From the robot reservation, she records a heartfelt message to humanity. She calls for everyone to unite, urging people to leave behind their virtual lives and embrace the real world. It's a call for peace, for friendship, and for a future where machines and humans can live together. In the film's final scene, Cosmo's lifeless body is dumped in a scrapyard, left to rust among forgotten relics. But as the camera stays on him, his reflection shimmers in a puddle. Suddenly, Cosmo's body stirs, hinting at the sequel that's sure to come. And with that, the story ends. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel.